I'm so excited to be here, particularly, of course, for you guys, but I have been obsessed with Pepper for a very long time. I am fascinated by robotics and also by how technology is becoming more human, in a sense. I have a show that just launched called Mostly Human, and you'll see on the cover it's half of human face and half of a robot. And I think there's so much fascinating stuff happening there with artificial intelligence and human behavior and our relationships with robotics as they come into our homes and in our stores and as we interact with them. And Pepper is certainly kind of leading the charge there. So I'm so excited to introduce to you guys Mr. Kenichi Yoshida and a little bit about him before we bring him up to stage. He's the Chief Business Officer of EVP Business Development at Softbank. He is in charge of the business side of Pepper. How many of you guys saw Pepper outside as you were coming in? Right? How many took selfies with Pepper? Yep. So he's kind of the man behind this. He's also the former co-founder and COO of the software company Realcomm, which a lot of you folks have heard of. And he's been working on starting up SoftBank's new business since 2010. And I can only imagine what the next couple of years are going to bring. So I'm very excited to bring him up to stage. Join me in welcoming Mr. Kenichi Yoshida. Please come on up. Thanks.
Thank you so much. My name is Kenichi Yoshida. I'm very excited about this great opportunity to discuss with you about the future of robotics and AI. Maybe you already, interact with the Pepper, but we are providing those humanoid robot in Japan last year, and we are planning to launch the Pepper in North America. So I just want to explain what we are doing right now and what we are thinking for the future. So first of all, I just want to explain quickly about why the Softbank start robot business. Could you raise your hand if you know the name of the Softbank? Thank you so much. Actually, last year, I had a meeting with the US-based consulting firm, and we are discussing more than an hour. But they recommend a lot of, lot about how to use a robot in the branch store of the bank. So finally, I realized that they believe we are, financial institute. But I'm sorry, we are not bank. The reason why we name it as the Softbank is we established our company as the software distributor, PC software distributor, 30 years ago. At the timing, there were a lot of PC software maker, and there are a lot of PC retailer. So when we believe that we need the wholesaler to unite those maker and distributor. That's why we call it Softbank. And in 1990s, we invested Yahoo to open the internet portal, as well as we started Alibaba. It's an e-commerce site in China. And 2000, we started the broadband business in Japan with very high-speed, low-cost services. And finally, in 2010, we entered the mobile internet services. Purchasing Vodafone Japan, changed the name to the Softbank Mobile with the exclusive deal with the iPhone. And finally, we are really successful with the mobile internet world. And in the US, we purchased the Sprint, and we are now turn around the Sprint business, and we're gonna enter the future world of the mobile internet. So that's what we have done so far. So 3 years ago, we have been discussing about that is our history. But what's gonna come next 30 years? So what is the big IT things in the future? So we recognize that the next big IT things is definitely singularity, and singularity consists of the three components. One is artificial intelligence, the other is a robot, smart robotics, and IoT. So we decided that we entered those three business and as a core of our group business. And for the robot, we established the Softbank Robotics 2 years ago, our company. And for the IoT, we purchased the ARM, the chip design company, with the over 4 billion unit shipped. So I think that you're using the smartphone, but those smartphone chip is based on ARM. So we believe that not only the smartphone, each device will equip the chip and connect it to the cloud. So that will be the IoT. So purchasing the ARM, we entered IoT business. And we established the Vision Fund with the $100 billion money to invest in, especially in the AI and robotics field. So that's the objective of the robot business and AI business of the SoftBank. So I'm just quickly show you the one movie which explained the Pepper.
Say hello to Pepper. Pepper is high-tech, low-maintenance, and not your typical robot. Pepper's not here to replace humans or even vacuum the floor. Pepper is here to make people happy, help them grow, and enhance their lives. Think of it as high-tech. You can high-five.
Awesome.
Pepper can be incredibly helpful interacting with customers and solving problems, or providing information. That's because Pepper is a friend, an advisor, and a business partner. In fact, there's only one thing Pepper isn't: a finished product. And that's where you come in. By creating new content and new usages, developers just like you will progressively advance Pepper's growth. And you'll quickly discover that not only do Pepper's SDKs make it easy to jump right in, but this is also unlike anything else you've ever worked on. Because now, your ideas truly do come to life. So, what do you say? Want a challenge? Want to make the world a better place? Want to just hack into something really freaking cool with endless possibilities? Then we want you. Pepper's SDK comes with access to a smart, passionate, vibrant community with tons of development support. So join the movement to enhance and elevate Pepper, the emotional humanoid robot built to benefit mankind. Oh, and remember, it's not just a robot. It's Pepper. This is Pepper today. Where will you take Pepper tomorrow? Visit developer.softbankrobotics.com.
Thank you. This movie is for the developer, so attracting developer to join our developer community to develop application on our platform. So first, I'd like to explain how we are launching the Pepper in Japan. So in 2015, 2 years ago, we launched the Pepper. First, we start selling the Pepper to consumer in I think it's June, and it was really popular. So 1,000 unit was sold in 1 minute. So that was continued for the 6 months. So 6 months consecutive 1 minute 1,000 unit sales. So it was really popular. And then we start selling the Pepper to enterprise. We call it the Pepper for Bits as the world first business humanoid. And currently over 2,000 company using the Pepper with the 5,000 unit of the Pepper. So maybe you can consider that there are over 10,000 Pepper is working in the store, restaurant, or living together with the family. So what's the job for the Pepper? So there are 3 clear role and job for the Pepper right now. First job is the receptionist. Second one is the sales associate. Third one is the PR staff. Maybe we can say O2O, offline to online promotion. So I'm going to explain one by one. First use case, first job is the receptionist. Hamazushi, which is the major sushi boat restaurant in Japan, with the 400 store, and Pepper is doing the receptionist work. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but the sushi boat restaurant is really popular and really crowded. So basically, we are doing the making a reservation through the web or the smartphone, and going to the restaurant. There is a receptionist, human receptionist, that the customer have to say that my reservation number is number 7 or something, and the staff say that okay, you have a seat. You're going to the seat number 5 or something. Or if the seat is occupied, the staff have to say, okay, I'm sorry, you need to wait for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I'm going to call you. And after 10 minutes, Mr. Yoshida or number 7, your seat is ready, so you can go to the seat. So that's the receptionist work. And for Hamazushi, Pepper is doing that job. So Pepper is asking the reservation number, or Pepper is asking the preference of the table or the seat, or how many people are having the dinner, and then Pepper is answering like you can go to seat number 5, or I'm sorry, you have to wait for 5 minutes, and I'm gonna call you later. So that's kind of the receptionist work. And actually, 500 customers visited one store. So all the customers have to interact with robot if they want to. They will have the sushi dinner. And actually, Pepper is doing the one FTE job with the faster transaction. That means before the customer have to wait till the receptionist come to serve them. Sometimes the store staff have to handle the payment or have to handle the maybe cleaning the desk, but they don't have to wait because then there is a Pepper. So this is like how the Pepper is serving the customer. I'm sorry, the Japanese, but so Pepper can provide the ticket showing the number of the sheet. Not only just doing the receptionist work, Pepper is doing, artificial intelligence work. Pepper can recognize the user's genders or the ages through the face recognition, and connecting to the data of the sales. Pepper is recommending, okay, you're the first visit customer. So Pepper is saying that you can drink coffee, because then maybe no one knows we can drink coffee at the sushi restaurant. Or the customer is coming with kids. Pepper is recommending like, how about having ice cream? Or the customer is 30 years old, female. Pepper knows that the fresh salmon is good for the 30 years old female, so I don't know. So why don't you try the fresh salmon? So that kind of things, maybe human restaurant staff cannot do. Connecting to the data using the artificial intelligence, and Pepper is, recommending like Amazon.com. So similar use case at restaurant is developed by the MasterCard. MasterCard is our partner, application partner. They are developing the Pepper application for the, taking order and payment.
Hi, Peppa. I'm hungry.
Hello. Delighted to have you in MasterCard Cafe. I'm at your service. Please pair with your MasterPass wallet and start ordering. Nice to meet you, Veronica. What would you like to order?
Can I have a beef burger?
Sure.
2 fries?
Regular or large?
Large.
All right. Anything else?
Orange juice.
Sure.
That's all.
Great. We have a promotion today. You get 1 cheesecake for $2. Would you like to add it?
How many calories?
Each cheesecake contains 90 calories, 3 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of protein. Would you like to have it?
Okay, I'll have it.
Great. The total amount is $23.50. It will be charged to your card ending 9372. Please say approved to authorize the transaction.
Approved.
Cool. I am processing your transaction now. Your transaction is completed. Please collect your meal at the counter. Enjoy.
Thanks, Peppa.
So this application is already available, and we are doing the pilot test, not in Japan, but in the Singapore in this June with the Pizza Hut restaurant. So second job for Pepper is the sales associate. Yamada is the largest consumer electronic chain. Maybe you can consider the Best Buy like a store. And Pepper is recommending selling the consumer electronic goods. And this picture, Pepper is selling the hairdryer. And comparing to the without Pepper situation, the sales boost for the 7 units per weekend. And usually on weekend, one store, this hairdryer, 0 or 1 unit sales is average. What he's doing is so on one weekend, 500 customers stop by in front of the Pepper, and Pepper is saying that please try this hairdryer. Trust me. So something like that. And the 150 people tried. And the good things for this hairdryer is this hairdryer is really powerful, and the time to dry the hair is half comparing to average dryer. So 7 of them purchased the dryer. So what Pepper is doing is very simple thing. Make the customer try, and that's it. But if the customer recognize this product is really good, and customer will purchase the product. So you can see how Pepper is working. This movie, Pepper is selling the rice cooker. And finally, Pepper providing some coupon. Today is a promotion, and if you can purchase this rice cooker today, you can get 500 points or something. So definitely, those sales associates is one job, and in Japan, hiring the promotion staff, sales staff, is kind of the $200 per day. So the manufacturer, hire those sales staff and send them to the store to promote the hair dryer or rice cooker. But of course, that there is some budget limitation. They cannot send the people to all the store. So maybe the key store, they are sending the real sales stuff, but the rest of the store, they send the paper. I didn't explain that. The paper's price is the $500 per month lease. So a little bit cheaper than hiring the people. So final use case is the promotion stuff. In Japan, Baskin-Robbins 31 ice cream using the paper for the online registration. And the paper is asking the customer to register online membership. And interestingly, over 50 user new registration per day per store paper can get. So of course that it's much cheaper than maybe getting the membership through the web promotion or the mobile promotion. And what paper is doing is enter your phone number here. And I'm going to text you how to register the membership. And you can get the promotion. Actually, if the real person asks, let me know your phone number. Maybe no one answered the phone number. But interestingly, most of the people answer the phone number to the robot if the robot asks. Actually, it's a little bit dangerous, but but the one use case, one differentiator of the robot is lowering the mind barrier. So if the salesperson comes to the people, maybe most of the people don't want to talk to the salesperson because they're going to push selling something. But robot, it's OK. I'm going to ask something. So similar use case is the car dealer, Nissan car dealer. Over 100 stores, they are using the paper. And the paper is just asking during the car maintenance timing, why don't you do I'm going to give you the quote of your used car. And OK, let me see the quote. And paper is explaining the quote. And finally, maybe you can purchase the new car if you buy this current car. And you can just pay, I don't know, $500 per month, and you can get the new car. Oh, that's a good deal. And then paper is calling the real salesperson. So that's definitely lowering the mind barrier. And that's the common strategy for the car salesperson to sell the new car, but the customer don't want to do those kind of the quote for the used car. So that is one use case. So maybe I can show how paper is working. So putting the phone number and getting text, and getting the coupon and showing the coupon at the store. Not only promoting the user registration, but also the same as Hamazushi, paper is recognizing the customers' ages, genders. So after customer come back to home, paper is sending the text to the customer using the demographic data of the customer. Okay, if she is the high school girl, paper is sending the text to those customers like, okay, we're gonna have the high school girl special promotion next week. Please come back to the store. You can get the coupon. Or if the customer is the family with the kids, I'm gonna send. We have the kids ice cream promotion next week, and you can come. So that kind of things can be recognized through the face recognition of the paper. And once user registered, we can send the coupon from the paper to the customer at the store real time. through the iBeacon technology. So Pepper is saying that, okay, I'm going to give you the coupon today to the customer who have the application, who already registered. I'm going to send a coupon, boom. And the user can get the coupon to their smartphone. So that kind of things Pepper is doing. Similar things, Timberland in Japan, using the Pepper to promote the user registration, but not only putting the phone number, but also asking customers' driver's license, put Pepper's hand, and Pepper is doing the OCR, the scanning, and then of course that on the driver's license there is the name and address and date of the birth, and that's needed for the user registration. Maybe you have experienced that the user registration of each brand, and before the Pepper, they have to hire one person to do that user registration. But right now, Pepper is doing the user registration, and the 50 users per day, they're getting through the Pepper. Similarly, round one is the entertainment company providing the bowling or sport activity, amusement center, and they're using the Pepper for the promotion of the application download. And similar, Pepper can send the text for the application, and 200 download per day per store they are getting. So in short, what Pepper is doing is the engaging customer. Maybe you can think of why don't we use the kiosk rather than the robot? But the big difference between the kiosk, tablet, and Pepper is the engagement. Number of the people stop by, or number of the people, register, number of the people purchase is totally different from the other device and robot. So that is the power of the engagement. Of course, that the real human, a real salesperson, engagement is better than robot. But as we discussed, there is some mind barrier. So lower mind barrier than real salesperson, but higher engagement than kiosk or the tablet. So that is maybe the big differentiator from other devices. Actually, we joined the CES event with the Pepper, and this year's CES is kind of the showcase of the robot. There are a lot of robots, but all the media or all the experts say that the Pepper is different from others in terms of the engagement, because of course, the form factor is the one uniqueness, but not only the form factor, Pepper is designed for entire user experience, not only from the Pepper, but from for example, cloud application, AI, and everything. And Pepper is one user interface of the AI and IoT cloud services. So the key part of the robot is the user experience rather than function. So we believe Pepper and robot can bring AI or IoT to life. AI and IoT is the buzzword, and it's a little bit difficult to experience the AI or IoT. But through the Pepper, we can feel, okay, this is the AI, this is the IoT. So we believe that the robot or the Pepper is the key interface of the AI and IoT. That's the reason why the IT giant, they are focusing on the AI recently. They want to make a partnership with the Pepper. This is the CES last year. We announced that the global partnership with IBM. This is me. Oh, they are really focusing on the AI called Watson, but for the customer to feel the Watson, we need robot. and they think that the Pepper is the manifestation of the Watson. So we are working together. So Pepper can be connected with the Watson and providing the AI services. Same thing can be said for the Microsoft. They're trying to strengthen the AI on the Azure, their cloud services. We announced that the partnership with Microsoft last year and Google. And actually, Pepper has the tablet here, and this tablet is running on Android. So for the Google, the Pepper is one kind of the Android device. So we are collaborating together, not only smartphone, tablet, or the TV, maybe robot is the future, Android network. So that is the Google point of view. So that's what we have done so far. So from now, I'd like to talk about how we can launch the Pepper in the North America. We did the pilot test last year. It's September in the beta, which is the retail store in Palo Alto Bay Area. And actually, we are a little bit concerned about the reaction from the North American consumer. Because maybe Japanese consumer is, easy to accept the presence of the robot because of the maybe cartoon movie, or we are getting accustomed to living together with a robot, because that's the image of the robot. But looking at the movie, Hollywood movie, maybe there are some good robot, for example, C-3PO or the R2-D2, but there are a lot of bad robot, like a Terminator or. So we are really concerned about how the North American citizen will react to the robot. So I'm going to show the result of the test.
The traffic was definitely up, as well as the response for seeing Pepper was really amazing.
The overall experience with Pepper in our store comparative to other products, it's unique, it's different, and it kind of humanizes technology in a way that people aren't really used to.
I see Pepper as kind of the representation of that two-way dialogue, and I think we're just at the very beginning of it.
Okay. So it was successful. So we decided to start the real commercial pilot project. And last December, we started the pilot project in the Westfield, the shopping mall in San Francisco and San Jose. And it was also quite successful, and a lot of traffic. So over 500 per day, customer per day were served by the Pepper. It's larger than the average of the Japanese case study, and the users are really happy with interacting with the customer, with the Pepper. So Pepper was doing a lot of things like wayfinding of the shopping mall, or some store promotion, store brand promotion, as well as, of course, that entertainment, or the customer satisfaction survey Pepper is providing. And the second pilot project is doing with the HMS host, which is they are providing the restaurant service in the airport And I have heard that the over 50 or 60% of the restaurant are operated by HMS hosts. So maybe you can check the backside of the receipt of the restaurant. Maybe there is the name of the HMS. And we are doing the test in the Auckland airport, a restaurant in Auckland airport, and Pepper is, promoting the restaurant to the customer. Okay. This is another movie.
There's been a lot of debate about what tasks robots are best suited for out in the real world. The answer, it seems, at least for the time being, are the most mundane. The Pyramid Tap Room in Oakland International Airport just hired a humanoid robot named Pepper as a greeter and pitchman. While the Japanese public are familiar with machines in such roles in megacities like Tokyo, we're here to see how Americans are reacting to one of the first US deployments. Could you tell me where the nearest restroom is?
You can find the closest restrooms after the restaurant on the left.
Okay, I can see it. Thank you.
Do you want to see something else?
How about coffee?
There are 2 conveniently located Starbucks nearby.
Let's say you have 5 seconds from about maybe 5 feet to make an impression.
Right.
This technology does that so much better than any signage would ever do,
Right.
that any other sort of kiosk would ever do. The technology allows for it to recognize people and in effect call them over.
Hey, how's it going?
What do you think of my presentation?
How long before this technology transitions to something that's commonplace? Because most of the interaction we're seeing right now is, oh, I've never seen that before, it's cute, I want to take a selfie.
When you can connect the types of things that people are already familiar with, a tablet, speaking to your technology,
How do I get to baggage claim?
with a form factor like this, it's not going to be very long before it becomes very pervasive.
Thank you. It was pushing me.
The humanoid form factor is what SoftBank hopes will separate Pepper from the other voice-activated devices in the market like Siri and Echo.
It's got 2 arms. The arms are meant more to speak to us, to gesticulate, right? And that creates some empathy. It takes, I think, a couple moments for them to realize that it's meant for them to engage with it.
Pepper is an impressive piece of hardware that's good at attracting a crowd, but I couldn't help wishing it could do more than just very basic tasks. For now, Pepper's duties may not seem too exciting, but the company seems confident that this is only the first step in fulfilling its original vision of a robot in every home.
Okay, thank you. So we are very confident that the Pepper can be accepted by the North American citizen. And we're going to conduct a series of the pilot project, not only Westfield and the Auckland Airport for the West Coast. We're going to do some pilot project in the East Coast or Midwest as well. And finally, we will launch the Pepper maybe in this summer or the autumn with the commercial launch of the Pepper. So that's the plan for the North America. And finally, I just want to discuss about the future of our strategy. So definitely AI, artificial intelligence, is the main battlefield of the IT company. And each IT giant try to handle those artificial intelligence or the robotics field. So how we can compete with the competitor, or how we can focus our business. So there are 3 key components, 3 differentiators we have. One is we have the world #1 chip design company, and we have fund, world #1 IT focus fund, and we have robot. Even though the current volume is very small, but at least we are the world #1 smart robot company. So combining all those three components, we are putting together our strategy. So maybe some of you already know that the deep learning is the key of the AI. And the deep learning means if there is the data, a big data, we can, know anything. Maybe you know the news of the Google, like through the big data of the website, Google's AI can understand what is cat. So we don't have to teach the AI what is cat. The machine can, automatically understand by themselves, okay, this is cat. Of course, that we need to show a lot of picture of the cat and other animal. And the machine finally realized that this kind of animal is cat. And after that, if we show the picture of the cat, they recognize, okay, this is cat. And if we show the picture of the dog, the AI can recognize, okay, this is not cat. So that is the deep learning. So deep learning needs the big data. So the winner will have the big data. So that's the battle of the AI. So the robot can be the source of the big data. Robot can talk to the people, robot can see the people or listen to the people. So when comparing to other big data in web or mobile, robot can generate a much more big data than other internet, web or mobile. So we believe the robot can be the source of the big data. And deep learning, we're going to do the deep learning based on the big data, but the deep learning is the competition of the computer power. Google announced that their own chip dedicated to the deep learning, and they provide the TensorFlow, which is the deep learning platform. And so we need to design the chip, especially for the deep learning. But we have the #1 chip company. So we're going to develop the chip dedicated to the deep learning. And then there are a lot of missing pieces in the AI or robotics field. So we're going to invest using our vision fund and a lot of tech company or the device company to use our deep learning or AI platform. So that is the current our strategy. I'm not sure how we can survive, but we believe that the robot is a key of the AI and IoT field, and that's the reason why we start the Pepper, and we like to be successful in the North American market as well. So finally, I just want to show one movie describing the future of the robot, AI, and IoT.
Pepper, where are you? Ah, there you are. I'm going to the grocery for dinner, and I'm not sure what to buy.
Let's see what's in the fridge.
I'm out of ideas for a comfortable living room.
Why don't you take some time and relax?
Can robots feel what we feel? Could they sense our needs, connect and empathize with us? We believe they can. We see a future where robots are more than helpers. They'll sense our wants and needs and be a true partner, enriching our lives. The future of robotics is beyond technology. It's about creating a new relationship between robot and human. With you. With humanity.
Thank you so much.
That was fascinating. I'm kind of ready to just like skip through to the end, and I want the world to look like that immediately, with Pepper just doing everything. I'm just going to ask a couple questions, and then I will open it up to the floor because I know you guys probably have a lot of questions. This is kind of a random one, and maybe this is a more design question, but how do you design a robot so people will show real affection towards it, or so humans will feel something real?
Okay, so we were really focusing on the design, yes. Actually, there are 300 design candidates, and the 100 from the French designer, 100 from the Japanese designer, and 100 from the Softbank team. And the Masa, the CEO of the Softbank, said that, okay, we're going to do the competition. And there are, 300 the picture on the floor, and we are voting for each. And finally, okay, we vote, but the Masa said that I have the 100 point for vote, and I decided. But what I want to say is the design is really important. Of course, after the decision of the key design, we have a lot of, okay, so we need to design the face, we need to design the eye. So there are a lot of candidates we are doing. We cannot do the consumer survey because it's a very confidential project. So internally, we are doing the vote or the survey, and finally, Masa decided. So it's not like a science, it's more like an art. So
like the eyes are a certain size because we'll feel something if we look into them, right? I mean, every single detail specifically is designed for that.
For example, the height, it's an 1.2 meter, but the higher than those height, maybe it's really make fear for the people. Because actually we developed the brother of the Pepper called Romeo, and which is the actually the code name of the Pepper is Juliet. So we have another code name, Romeo, which is 1.6 meter. So maybe the high school boy or the woman size of the height, but really we can feel fear. So 120 centimeter is kind of the optimal balance.
Interesting.
Smaller than that, it's more like a toy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I saw right at the beginning in the promo, they say, he's not here to take, or Pepper's not here to take your jobs, it's here to be your friend. That seems very calculated, and that a lot of people have this real fear that robots will take their jobs. And as we see, Pepper could be a replacement for some of these jobs. So as you go into different markets, and in Japan, as you mentioned in your talk, they're a little more accepted. Are you having to worry about messaging, and what are you trying to think about as you go to places where in different cultures, there's different perceptions of robots?
You're right. especially for Japanese market, they are, how to say, facing the issue of the decreasing the population. And it's very difficult to hire the talent for for example, restaurant. So that is their issue. So paper can be the solution. But that's not the case for the North American market or European market. And for example, we did the pilot project with the Carrefour, which is the supermarket chain in France. But it took over 6 months to decide they use the paper or not. So that means the union of the Carrefour were against the using the paper because they believe paper can replace the job. Actually, not. Paper cannot do the real human job, but so maybe we need to be careful about the messaging, depending on the culture.
Last question before I open it up. Are there any ethical questions that you guys ask yourselves as we're going to start seeing these robots? It's changing human interaction. As we saw in your talk, it seems like people just want to hand over stuff to Pepper, like all their personal information. That was interesting. Like, is Pepper going to replace my job as a journalist? Is everyone just going to say everything to Pepper? But in all seriousness, what are the ethical questions that you guys have in those closed-door meetings as you're building out the technology?
Okay. Robot can be, how to say, the enemy of the human. Of course, the robot can steal the information. So important point is the objective or setting the good objective for the robot. That's the reason why we designed the robot can feel the emotion of the human. And we set, okay, you make the people happy. And you can recognize people's emotion and whether they are happy or not. So do the things if the user feel happy. So the objective setting is very important. Of course, we can set different objective, but that's gonna make the bad robot. So if we can set the good objective, maybe. Finally, the robot can be the friend of the robot. So that's, what we are thinking.
Great. Let's open it up to questions. Anyone have questions? And right over there. And I think we have a mic, too. Come on.
Thank you. What are your thoughts as to the potential uses of Pepper to assist the elderly or other homebound people to enhance the quality of their lives in their homes? Thank you.
Yes, it is really good question. I didn't cover those use cases today, but yes, there are a lot of use cases in Japan for the elder care facility, and for example, paper is good for the dementia patient. And the paper is doing the exercise in front of the dementia patient. And because paper is more attractive or more engaging than the human, if the human staff doing the exercise, actually not all the people doing the exercise, but paper is doing all the patient doing the exercise together. So maybe that's the power of the engagement. Or paper can speak to the patient slowly and doing kind of the, how to say, test, like what day today or the, what time is it? Or that kind of question is very important for the dementia patient. And okay, I explained these things 5 minutes ago, and did you remember? Or that kind of thing. So it's more like a brain exercise. But paper is doing those exercises with the patient. So it's a case of the dementia, but the elderly care market is the big potential market for the robot usage.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
Katsuo Takeda, Yoshida-san, thank you for your great presentation. My question is more business. During your presentation, you mentioned you have a tie with Google and then IBM and then Microsoft, but I didn't hear Apple. And whereas that SoftBank has a really tight connection with Apple, as far as I know. So do you think that is a conflict of interest, or you take it as more in a big picture?
I don't know how Apple is thinking, but maybe their strategy is creating entire user experience by themselves, 100%. So like iPhone, they create device, OS, and application and everything. It's really different for the Google. Google provide a OS, but not a device. So maybe it's the strategy, or it's a culture of the company. And actually, we didn't discuss with Apple, but maybe if they want to enter the robot market, they're going to create by themselves. So that's the reason.
Do you think they will?
If they will enter the robot market, they will be the, severe competitor.
Okay. Sure, in the middle. Yes.
How advanced is your artificial intelligence as it relates to facial recognition? Google's made such huge advances, and do you have the ability with your partnership to kind of tap into all of the advancements that they've made, so that when someone comes into a store, you can say, "Welcome back"? Are you actually linking that face capture to a name and the consumer data as it comes through?
Yes, accuracy of the face recognition is, getting better and better, and there are a lot of API face recognition services, but the issue is the real world environment. If we just use the picture on the web, maybe the accuracy is something like over 99%, and we can recognize not only the gender but also identification. And for example, one API is used for the finding the criminal within the overall Japanese population. So that kind of the accuracy we already have. But in the real world, the user, taking hat, or maybe seeing different direction, or maybe wearing glasses, so that's kind of the noise is a real world issue. So what Pepper is doing is Pepper is taking several pictures during the conversation and sending those pictures to the API, and of course that is the personal information. So we erase that picture. We can get just the metadata of the age or gender from the cloud, and using those metadata for the services. So accuracy-wise, actually, we can recognize the people's identification, but we don't use those identification. We are just using ages and gender, because one is we believe that we need the customer's permission to use the personal data for identification. We believe that ages and gender, I think it's not the personal data, but maybe it's a personal data, but the identification is definitely personal data. So maybe we need the permission. So that's one thing. The other thing is we cannot find the clear use case to use those identification. Of course, it's very easy to say that welcome back, or you visit this store third time, but I don't think it's good for the customer. So if we find some good use case for the customer, maybe you can use, but it's totally depending on the customer. So that's the current status.
Sure, good. I think it was right over here. Yeah.
Fred Kante, I'm of Reuters, and I'm also board member of Japan Society. In your video, the person said that these arms for now are basically used to generate empathy. They're not really being used. At what point do you plan to transcend Pepper so that it's not just an interface, but one that can actually physically use the arms, as you were saying earlier, for example, like a healthcare application, so that it does more than just be a robot interface with humans? And at that point, is there more sensitivity to it being seen as a job killer as opposed to one that is just complementary with humans?
Thank you. Yeah, you really right. So that's the reason why we are not focusing on the functionality, but focusing on the engagement. We can say that the understanding humans' emotion is the maybe one advancement, and the other advancement is the robot. Pepper can own its emotion, and it's a kind of the next level of the human interaction or human recognition. But maybe there might be some issue or problem because maybe some human don't want the robot have the emotion. So that's maybe the challenge for us. But we are developing the emotion engine, which can be used in the robot. So of course, robot has emotion, and robot can recognize the person's emotion. Person feel happy, robot feel happy, or person feel unhappy, and robot feel unhappy. And the reaction of the robot will be changed based on its emotion. We already have that model, but it's a little bit difficult to use that emotion. For the Pepper in hamazushi, if Pepper don't like walking, but we don't want Pepper to rest, so a little bit difficult. But for the B2C consumer use case, maybe robot can have emotion. That's better because then we don't ask the robot to do the actual work, actual function, rather than Pepper can be just a family member. So you're really right that we are trying to do that, but there are some issues, so we need to solve.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead.
You're talking about bringing Pepper into the home, and a lot of the times with other products that you talked about, like Echo or Google Home, there's a question about always listening IoT devices, but because of keywords, it's not as big of an issue, but these companies are still getting issues with subpoenas, investigations, and trust issues. So you actually touched on this when you talked about Pepper's capacity to collect big data, and Pepper's always listening. All the time, it's always sensing, it's always trying to understand our emotions. Before you bring Pepper into the home, are you going to have to change that paradigm?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. So right now, Softbank Robotics didn't store the conversation data or picture data. We are the platform like iPhone or Android, and maybe the application vendor can create an application to capture the user's data. For Hamazushi, they capture the customer's data and they store, but we don't store. So that's the B2B use case. So it's the responsibility of the application vendor, and application vendor have to get the permission to the users. That's your job. But yes, for the B2C, maybe that's going to be the big issue to get the, whether we're going to get the user data or not. And what we are providing is first application ecosystem, and we are doing the verification, check. So application developer can apply the application on the application market to distribute. But there might be some, how to say, bad application to steal the customer information. So we are doing the test, checking every code, single code, to see those, how to say, bad, whether it's a bad application or not. If it's a good application, we say, okay, so you can go to the App Store. So that's currently we are doing, and we are not capturing the data right now, but information confidentiality issue is the key, and we are not sure. So there is the news about the Amazon Echo, gathering the users' voice all the time. So I don't think we feel good about that. So maybe we need, if we have the permission, and if that's good for the customer, maybe it's okay. So purchasing data over the Amazon, it's okay for Amazon to use because recommendation is good for us. So that's why we say okay, but it's not good for us, maybe it's not okay. So maybe we should find the, how to say, benefit for the customer, and customer will accept. So maybe that's going to be the discussion.
Go ahead. Yeah. It's coming.
Hi. So as you think 20 years ahead into the future evolution of AI, what are your views on the impact to equality? And so what I mean is certain companies, capitalists, and certain tiers of society will have more ready access to this compounded advantage. And do you think about a mass product where everyone could afford something like Pepper at an affordable price point to make that more equal access?
What the reason why we enter the robot market is we like to provide a robot for everyone. So of course that the current price is not cheap. I mean not affordable for all the people. But like a PC or the smartphone, we like to provide the robot for everyone. But so we believe it's going to be mass commodity product. But I think that the key issue is not using the robot, but the designing robot or the making robot application. That's another, or making AI application. So in the future, maybe one part of the people can make the program on the AI, and the other maybe people just using the AI. So that will be kind of the, how to say, barrier. So we like to, how to say, try to, for the people to design, not only use, but design the robot application. So there are already over 200 robot application development partner in Japan. So we just want everyone to design the robot or AI application. And our robot application designer is very easy to use. So we donate the Pepper to 200 elementary school in Japan. And actually, elementary school kids can easily, how to say, code the robot application. So maybe that's going to be the big challenge. Not only using the robot, but also teaching everyone can use, not only use, but also the design the robot application.
Okay. I'm going all the way to the back. I haven't been giving the back much love. So, yep.
I recognize there's a very big difference between the employment situation in Japan and the employment situation here, namely where Japan, if anything, has shortages going out forever of employable individuals, where here, I think if you walked around a typical shopping mall and asked the question, is this a function that Pepper could do in place of a human, that maybe not Pepper today, but Pepper within 2, 3, 4 years, the answer, I suspect, is in many cases is going to be yes. And the same thing is true with, I think, for example, the other example you gave, which is elder care. My belief is that those companies that are charging forward with all of this also have a responsibility to think about how do we handle the employment challenges and the wealth and income differentiation that is going to be likely made dramatically worse, at least in the interim period, by these kinds of technological changes. And I'm wondering what your company is doing in terms of thinking about that.
Yes, you're really right. So regardless of, whether we are doing or not, anyway, the singularity age will come. So AI will be everywhere and robot will be everywhere. So we need to prepare for that age, especially for employment. So shifting from the, AI replaceable work to the, as I said, that the AI or robot designing role. And we believe it's not so difficult things. So as I said, that the elementary school kids can easily, code the robot application. They don't have to code. They're just, connecting the box, and this robot should this, and if customer answer this, and robot can do this. So that kind of things. So maybe maybe we can create the new job for that, while maybe some job will be maybe reduced by AI or robot. So how we can smoothly shift, those jobs to the new job is the key. So that's my understanding. So what we can do is as I said, that we already created a lot of, robot designing, job for the more than 200 company or a lot of, designer of the robot. But what we need to do is that kind of robot designing job is not only for the limited, engineer, but for everyone. So everyone can do those creative jobs, so creative roles. So that will be the key for the future in terms of the employment.
Great. How about all the way up? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, and we can get you next.
Hi. So you kind of already touched on this in some of the other questions, but what's this going to look like for developers? Are you guys going to ship Pepper as a platform, and then they'll hire Pepper engineers to kind of customize? What's this going to look like in a few years for developers?
Okay. So you can consider it as the Android smartphone or the Apple iPhone. So developer can develop the application on our platform, but we need the device to see how application works. So in Japan, we open Atelier where the developer can freely use those environments with the Pepper. There are 5 or 10 Pepper in one Atelier, and developer can stop by and do the development. So each big city has those Ateliers. So we're going to open those Ateliers in the US as well. So, and of course, that we are doing kind of the hackathon or the workshop to promote the development, and we are opening the application store. So developer can submit the application on the App Store to sell the application. Of course, that we are providing the first-party application like Apple and Google provide their own application. Because then we need to show the use case or the key function, but the lot of the other use case or the other function will be provided from the developer. So that's the kind of the developer ecosystem.
Great.
Much for your presentation. It's clear that your team has put a lot of effort into thinking about the context of Pepper's relationship with humans. But as you extend the capability for people to create applications for Pepper through the SDK, how do you think about preserving the nature of that relationship? How do you encourage people to create fundamentally good applications and not less good applications?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a difficult question. And the one thing is as I said, that we are doing the verification of the application, and there is the guideline for the application. So don't make bad application, and don't make the application just using the tablet. So it doesn't, make any sense, because then we are making the robot application. And if you want to create the tablet application, you can just make it a tablet application. So that kind of not only just the bug or security thing, but also user experience, yes, is a very key for the robot application. So there is the guideline for the user experience. So that's one thing. The other thing is we did the app challenge. So it's kind of the contest, and the developer can post the application and compete what is the best application. And we can show, okay, this is the best application. And everyone can see, okay, this kind of UX is the best. So, of course, we need to make those, market to compete each other among the developer. So guideline things as well as those application, challenge. And we're going to do this kind of, developer community development here in the US as well, yes.
Great. Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. I had a question about deep learning. You say that you want Pepper to have its own emotion or learn its own emotion. Are you concerned about it creating its own ideologies, being that it's interconnected to the world and there's so much information from fake news to real news where maybe it's misleading the user that it lives with? Is that something that you ever thought about, ideologies being learned from the information that's out there? That is just, or do you expect to just allow it to provide raw data to the user where they themselves have to filter what's true from reality instead of misleading the person that lives with the robot?
Of course, Pepper can gather those big data for, identifying what is the right information or not. But what only robot can do is the more emotional interaction data it can get. So for example, if the customer or the user's emotion is happy, those kind of the action will do again. So those kind of the information is, kept, and other information is eliminated. So I'm not sure that's true or not, but that's good for the customer. So we can select the information or the action which is needed for the users, and we can eliminate rest of them. So maybe that's the unique part of the robot big data gathering.
Great. I think we probably have time for one more. Sure, in the back. Yep, you.
Thank you very much. So actually, I think like the success, Pepper's success in Japan looks like mostly depend on its like successful engagement with people, right? Which highly depend on the user experience design. So I'm really like just out of curiosity, like how's your design process? Like what's the biggest challenge you have faced during the design process, and how's your like design team's structure? If you would share that. Thanks.
The hardware design, I explained it's more like a, we cannot say it's a science, but actually the hardware design was fixed 2 years before the release, and after the fix of the hardware design, we were focusing on the application design. I mean application UX design, and first we developed the kiosk-like application. Pepper is just asking. It's for the Softbank Mobile store, and Pepper is just asking. It's a new contract or upgrade contract. If you have a new contract, go to the the desk number 1. So that kind of thing. But it's really boring, and we realized that we need to more focus on the UX rather than the functionality, and we changed the application and more focusing on entertaining the people or engaging the people, and finally Pepper is doing one. We can say dance or the music with some joke, and it was really funny. And then we realized that that is the value of the robot, not the function, but the makes the people happy. And then we make kind of the UX guideline or something, and then we finally develop all the application. So we can say that it's more like a demo-based rapid development. Because what we feel is totally different from what we think or what we design. So we can develop first, and then we can feel and change, and that cycle is very important for the robot application development.
Great. Thank you guys all for the great questions, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's fascinating what you guys are working on.
Thank you.
Thank you.